Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Hey, what's up, everyone? So, Toronto Blue Jays trade rumors are absolutely exploding right now, and I've got some breaking developments that just dropped that could completely change everything we thought we knew about this offseason. We're talking about a player that represents maybe the biggest opportunity Ross Atkins has had in years, and honestly, this could be the move that defines the entire franchise going forward. Plus, Trey Savage finally opened up about how he's been dealing with that devastating World Series Game 7 loss, and what he said is pretty raw and honest. We've also got some really interesting comments from David Schneider about the clubhouse dynamics and a bunch of free agency updates you definitely need to hear. So make sure you stick around because this is going to get wild. All right, let's jump right in. A couple weeks back, there was a report from C. Trent, who covers the Reds, and it stated that last spring, Cincinnati offered Elly De La Cruz a club record extension worth more than Joey Votto's $225 million deal. And guess what? He turned it down. Just straight up said no to generational money. That alone tells you everything about where his head is at and what his future might look like in Cincinnati, or more accurately, outside of Cincinnati. Then last Friday, about a week ago now, Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic reported more details about this situation. Elly came out and said he lets his agent handle all of that, and of course his agent is Scott Boras. Over the past few days, there have been tons of rumblings about his future with the Reds, which has opened up serious trade speculation for the Blue Jays and several other teams. This is where things get really interesting for Toronto. First off, Elly De La Cruz is an absolute freak of nature. I did a video the other day about O'Neal Cruz, and while I think he might be more obtainable, Elly is clearly the better player right now. He's been more consistent, more dominant, and if he genuinely doesn't want to stay in Cincinnati, this becomes a golden opportunity for the Jays. Scott Boras represents him, and we all know Boras hates extensions no matter what he says publicly. Even if the Reds significantly increase their offer, there's a very real chance Boras would keep saying no. The Athletics article mentioned the Dodgers as a potential landing spot, but the Jays have been heavily involved with Boras' clients for years, and Ross Atkins loves making these kinds of blockbuster trades. Now, I know what you're thinking. The fit isn't perfect because he's a shortstop and we already have guys there. But you could theoretically move him around, maybe shift Arjun Nimmala, work out some creative positioning. Let's just focus on the player for a second, though. Last year, he posted a 776 OPS. The year before, an 810 OPS. He almost had 70 stolen bases in 2024. 70! The Jays desperately need that kind of speed and athleticism. Keegan Matheson was on my channel a couple months ago and talked about how the Jays always make these unexpected trades, and Elly De La Cruz fits that profile perfectly. Yeah, we have Ernie Clement and Ohtani and others, but if a player of this caliber becomes available, you have to at least explore it seriously. He finished top 10 in MVP voting in 2024, and he's only 24 years old. He's coming off what some consider a down year, which might actually lower his trade value slightly, making this the perfect time to strike. Here's the thing that makes this even more intriguing. If the Reds offered $250 or even $300 million and he still turned it down, there aren't many teams that can throw that kind of money around. The Blue Jays can. They missed on Kyle Tucker. They've missed on other big names. So why not go all in on Elly De La Cruz, trade for him, and then extend him immediately? That's the kind of aggressive move that could completely transform this roster. Obviously, there are huge questions here. How much would it cost to acquire him? Would he even want to come to Toronto? There are rumors about him preferring the Dodgers, but this is definitely worth monitoring closely. He's under control for a few more years since this is only his third year of service time, and teams like Cincinnati know that if they're not going to extend him, they need to move him sooner rather than later to maximize return. What would it cost the Blue Jays? Probably an arm and a leg. We're talking at minimum someone like Arjun Nimmala, probably plus 2 other top 10 prospects. Now, before you freak out, hear me out. If you're trading Nimmala, remember that Elly is a shortstop who could be the long-term answer there. Pairing him with Vladdy would be absolutely lethal. I'd be willing to give up Nimmala and others if it meant landing Elly De La Cruz. Is it likely? Probably not, because the cost is going to be astronomical, and most teams would love to have him. But the real question is, which teams can afford to give him $300 to $350 million afterward? The Jays absolutely could. A lot depends on how their season unfolds and how the Red season goes, but this is definitely something to keep your eye on. It's a fun conversation, especially during the slower part of the offseason when we're all hungry for news. Now let's shift gears to Trey Savage, who finally spoke out about the World Series loss for the first time. He said he spent a lot of time in the woods hunting to cope with how things ended. The ending was heartbreaking, he admitted, but believes they'll be better for it next season. Here's the really telling part, though. He said he hasn't watched a single second of Game 7 since it happened, and he never will. Every time he sees clips on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, or TikTok, it makes him sad and emotional. That's real vulnerability right there. And honestly, I respect him for being that honest. It shows how much it meant to him and how deeply it hurt. But you know what? That pain is going to fuel him. It's going to make him hungrier, more determined. Trey Savage is the Jays' top prospect. He's graduating this year, and he's going to be a crucial piece moving forward. He had one of the best rookie years in franchise history. Really one of the best of all time when you look at the numbers. Now, he needs to channel that disappointment into motivation. David Schneider also recently commented on the team dynamic during that run. He talked about how in spring training, all 26 guys just clicked. Everyone got along, everyone gave everything they had, and when you have that kind of unity, it makes winning possible. It was a different hero each night, which is what championship teams are made of. Schneider's future playing time is uncertain, though. He's only projected to get about 21% of playing time in left field, maybe 41% combined when you factor in second base. With Joey Loperfido, Nathan Lukes, Anthony Santander, Miles Straw, and others in the mix, his path to consistent at-bats is crowded. His main advantage is crushing lefties and having a really disciplined approach at the plate. Look, Elly De La Cruz might seem like a long shot, but these are the kinds of moves championship teams make. They take calculated risks on elite talent when the opportunity presents itself. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Is this trade idea completely insane, or does it actually make sense? Would you be willing to give up Nimmala and other top prospects for a player of his caliber? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.